A very good afternoon, one and all present here. On behalf of Amity University and my own personal behalf, I would like to welcome today's speaker, Dr. Om Harkam, to share her views on gender equality at the Iaea. It is my pleasure to welcome faculty members and students of Amity University and other institute, universities and research organizations of India. It is indeed a proud privilege to welcome international guests who joined us for today's lecture. Amity University, Uttar Pradesh, Noida campus is celebrating International Women's Week to honor women, salute their courage, celebrate their success, and raise awareness about their equality. Gender equality is a state of equal ease of access to resources and opportunity regardless of gender. UNICEF says gender equality means that women and men and girls and boys enjoy the same rights, resources, opportunities, and protections. It does not require that girls and boys or women and men be the same or that they be treated exactly alike. On a global scale, achieving gender equality also requires eliminating harmful practices against women and girls. Now the question arises, when women and girls share same platform with men, then why we are paying more attention towards women and celebrating it as an important day or week? Despite many international agreements affirming their human rights, women are still much more likely than men to be poor and illiterate. Women being labeled as child bearers and homemaker rather than the breadwinners of the family. The purpose of organizing such event is to highlight the issues and challenges they are facing towards their life. Even today, more than 40% women are facing problems and several difficulties in their life. It may be due to the education and many more factors. So it is very important to educate a woman. It is rightly said, if you educate a man, you educate an individual. But if you educate a woman, you educate two families, society, and two nations. With these words, I would like to invite again today's speaker, Dr. Om Harkam. Let me give a brief introduction about her. Dr. Om Harkam is an education officer at the Division of Nuclear Security, International Atomic Energy Agency, IAEA. Before she joined the agency in January 2021, Mrs. Harkam was a lecturer and researcher at the University of Ibn Tufayl in Morocco and director of Nuclear Physics and Techniques Research Unit. Amongst her many accomplishments, she served as the first woman to chair the IAEA International Nuclear Security Education Network with over 170 universities and a member of the advisory group on nuclear security to the IAEA Director General from 2017 to 2021. Professor Harkam has authored over 55 articles in peer-reviewed journals, established the first master program in radiation protection in Africa in 2010. Founded the first local INMM chapter in Africa in 2014 to educate her students on the proper management of nuclear materials, and founded Women in Nuclear Security Initiative in 2016. Professor Harkam is an executive member of WINS Global, president of WINS Africa, and founder and president of WIN Morocco. She strives to encourage and create more opportunity for young women in a male-dominating field. With this short introduction about women, about Harkam, let me welcome her again to address all our students and faculty members. So, Dr. Harkam, now floor is yours. You can start.
Thank you so much, Dr. Alpana, for the introduction. Let me share my screen with you. So,
go to the first slide.
Yeah.
Yes.
So, good morning, good afternoon, good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Thank you, Dr. Alpana, for the introduction. I am honored to be invited to speak at your event on the occasion of the International Women's Day. Congratulations on the organization of this series of lectures conducted by international experts from around the world to share experiences, knowledge, and information. I am very pleased to speak on behalf of the International Atomic Energy Agency and on its gender equality program that aims not only to increase the representation of women at the Iaea, but globally. As we all know, gender equality is one of the 17 United Nations Sustainable Development Goals, and we cannot achieve UN SDG without achieving gender equality. So I will start my presentation by giving an overview of the work of the Iaea. Then I will talk about women at the Iaea, giving some statistics and the objectives of the Iaea gender parity program. After that, I will present the Iaea Marie Curie Sklodowska Fellowship Program, and I will conclude by sharing some resources. Well, the International Atomic Energy Agency is the global center for cooperation in the nuclear field and seeks to promote the safe, secure, and peaceful use of nuclear technologies. So the Iaea facilitates cooperation among its member states, providing expertise, guidance documents, equipment, and training in the nuclear field. We know that all countries in the world are using nuclear science and technology to some degree. The agency assists its member states in using nuclear science and technology for peaceful purposes and facilitate the transfer of such technology and knowledge in a sustainable manner to member states. You may recognize This, the lady in the picture, she's Miss Meera Venkatesh. She's from India, and she's a former director of the Division of Physical and Chemical Sciences at the Iaea. So the agency is also protecting the world from accidents and nuclear security events by promoting a strong and sustainable nuclear safety and security framework in member states. The IAEA conducts in-field safeguards activities to verify states' reports and declarations. The objectives of IAEA safeguards is to deter the spread of nuclear weapons by the early detection of the misuse of nuclear material or technology. This provides credible assurances that states are honoring their legal obligations that nuclear material is being used for peaceful purposes. Let me give you a brief video on the IAEA. It's not so long, it's only 3 minutes.
International. In 1957, an agency was created with a vision to harness the power of the atom for the benefit of humankind.
Sorry to interrupt, ma'am. We are not able to see your video, ma'am.
Yes.
To help countries use nuclear science and tech.
Sorry?
Ma'am, the video is not visible to us. If you can please share the complete screen.
Let me see.
Ma'am, please stop share and share it again, ma'am.
Okay. Mm-hmm. Is it fine now?
Ma'am, please start the video so that we can see if it is coming or not.
Is it fine?
No, ma'am, it is not
It is
fine.
still not coming.
Okay. So it's okay. We can I can share it after that with you, the link to the IAEA video. It's fine. So I talked a little bit about the work of the IAEA is doing, and we can. So. Mm-hmm. So let's continue the presentation. So the IAEA Secretariat counts more than 2,500 staff members coming from more than 100 nationalities and speaking more than 120 languages. The IAEA takes pride in the diversity of its workplace, which brings together staff from varied backgrounds, cultures, and experiences. And the agency encourages its staff members to embrace this diversity and view it as an advantage and rewarding. So, on this slide, we have the percentages of women and men at the professional and higher categories at the Iaea. Regarding general services, the Iaea has more than 50% women and achieved already gender parity. Now the focus of the Iaea is about professional staff and higher categories like directors of divisions and directors of departments. The representation of women is increasing, and the Iaea achieved so far 33.1% as of 31 December 2020. Here is the vision of our Director General. Let me read his quote. Gender equality and the empowerment of women lie at the heart of the Sustainable Development Goals, and they are vital to fully realizing the rights and potential of everyone. Improving the representation of women in the agency staff, especially at more senior levels, is a high priority for me as a Director General. I have committed myself to achieving 50% representation of women in the professional and higher categories. This is a challenging goal, but I believe it is achievable. So, our Director General is an international champion in the nuclear field, and he has set up a gender equality plan to make his vision a reality. So, the objective of this action plan is to strengthen efforts to gender balance in the Iaea Secretariat, to strengthen gender mainstreaming in the agency programs and activities, to enhance internal and external communication about the activities of the Iaea regarding gender equality, and to promote an enabling environment supportive of gender equality. In this regard, the Iaea is working hard to increase the number of women staff in the scientific and engineering fields as part of its commitments. The agency supports the equal participation of women and men in the Secretariat through a number of measures that include the recruitment process at the Iaea. And this is very important, and a special attention to well-qualified women candidates in the recruitment process to ensure that in cases of comparable qualifications and suitability, women are given due consideration. Also, steps to increase the representation of women at agency conferences, workshops, seminars, and to promote the involvement of women scientists in coordinated research projects and technical cooperation projects. The Iaea has also a focal point for gender concerns to address specific gender-related concerns. We do have also departmental focal point for gender concerns. We have also career seminars for students at secondary or tertiary institutions held to encourage more women to choose careers in nuclear science and technology. Also, the Iaea cooperates with other UN agencies active in the field of gender issues, such as the United Nations Entity for Gender Equality and the Empowerment of Women, UN Women. And in this regard, last year, the Iaea has launched the Marie Curie Fellowship Program. This program seeks to inspire and support young women to pursue a career in nuclear science and technology, nuclear safety and security, or non-proliferation. The program provides scholarships to selected candidates studying towards a master's degree in these fields. Scholarships cover up to 2 years of tuition and living expenses and are awarded to 100 students each year, subject to the availability of funds. So already 100 of students from all over the world benefited from this program. And it will be open next year for another cycle of 100 students. So who are eligible for this program? This program is open to students from Iaea member states who meet the following entry requirements. So they are female candidates. They are accepted by or enrolled in an accredited university in master's program. And of course, preference will be given to applicants with above average academic credential. So, what are the field of study? The program supports young women studying in nuclear related fields relevant to the Iaea work to advance the safe, secure, and peaceful uses of nuclear science and technology, such as nuclear engineering, isotopic techniques, radiation biology, nuclear security, and so on. So, here, it is not the only program that the Iaea has established to improve gender equality globally, but there are many others programs. And just among other programs, I would mention a program that is conducted in Asia and the Pacific, and that encourage teachers to introduce nuclear science in their curricula. And with that, we will, with the early introduction of this science into education, students, including girls, are equipped to pursue advanced studies and eventually become leaders in the field. This initiative aims to reach 1 million students between 12 and 18 by the end of 2021. So on this occasion of the International Women's Day this year, the Iaea has signed an agreement with Women Global to formalize and strengthen collaboration in the areas of representation of women and geographical diversity, and addresses topics such as talent acquisition, mentoring, and training. The Iaea also has launched many training programs, and just in last December, a training program regarding women in education and communication. Yeah, it is a regional program. It was set in English. It was conducted in December by Australia, and it is in English, and the Iaea aims to establish this program in all United Nations languages to help all the regions in both education and communication about nuclear. So these are some examples that of programs that the Iaea is conducting, and I will conclude my presentation by sharing some resources that are available on the Iaea website. So just you have here the link to our website. There is a web page on women, and there are many resources, articles on women. You have the link to employment. You have also the link to current vacancies, and you are encouraged to apply to job vacancies. And there is also opportunities for students for internships. There are many opportunities, and there are applications, and there are also webinars. These webinars are organized by our Department of Management, Human Resources, to provide information about the recruitment process and how to prepare the application, the sonro, the panel interview questions, and so on. So I encourage you to go to the Iaea website and be aware about the different opportunities. With that, I thank you very much for listening and for your attention, and I will be happy to answer your questions and to have discussions with you. Thank you so much. I give the floor to you back, Alpana.
Thank you, Om Harkam, for such a nice presentation and motivating our student for gender equality. And really, it is a very important topic, and Iaea is taking care of all these issues. It is very, very important for all of us. So I would like Harkam, if you can briefly, you can give something, you can tell something about the INSEN, which we are, you are especially enrolled, and you are also taking care of this activity in under Iaea. So if you can talk little bit about INSEN and what is its motive and what activity you are going to do there. So, Harkam.
Thank you, Alpana, for this question and to give me the opportunity to talk about the International Nuclear Security Education Network, INSEN. So INSEN is a partnership between the Iaea and international universities. We are so far almost 200 universities that belong to the network, and the objective of the network is to establish, to maintain and sustain nuclear security education around the world. You know that we are using nuclear material, radioactive materials in many applications, and these radioactive and nuclear materials should be secured. These materials can be at the universities, at the laboratories, can be at the facilities, and so on, and that should be secured. And we need also experts in this field, and we should educate this generation of experts, of course, to ensure nuclear security. And in SEN, it is about supporting faculty members around the world to establish nuclear security programs, and also through the documents that we have at the Iaea, like the NSS 12, it is about nuclear security education. We do have other documents that help universities and member states and national stakeholders in developing nuclear security and also maintaining it and sustaining. So I encourage more universities from India or from around the world to join INSEN. And if you have any question, please just email insen.iaea.org, and we will be happy to support you and to answer your questions.
Thank you, Dr. Harkam.
If
now
I may,
would like,
Alpana, if I may, I am sorry, I would like, because there are students among the audience, and I would like to mention that the Iaea organize schools on nuclear security, and master students and PhD students are encouraged to apply to these schools. And the schools is 2 weeks program that gives an overview on nuclear security. So there is a school in Asia. It is conducted in Indonesia, and it will be, the next school will be held in November. It is in English. We do have another school that will be held in Arabic in Saudi Arabia in October, and we will have our international school to be held in Trieste in April next month. And we have also this year the 2nd session of the international school in Russian. So the Iaea is conducting so far the schools in 5 languages. Arabic, French, English, Russian, and Spanish. We still not have in Chinese. So the students are encouraged to apply to these schools. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Dr. Harkam, for giving the all ideas how my student can apply for the schools in different languages are there. Now I would like to welcome Dr. W. Silva Murthy, our chairman of STEF. So he also joined us on this great occasion. So I would like to invite him, if he can speak some.
No, if there is any questions from students, let us take that first. Alpana ji,
yes, okay.
I will speak at the end.
Yes.
I would like
a student, please, if you have any
participants. And thank you very much, Ms. Om Harkam, for this wonderful webinar which you have given lecture. This is very valuable for all of us in Amity and those who are viewing this. Now, let us first take the questions from the students and other participants. Then I
Yes, yeah.
My pleasure, sir.
Ma'am, there is a question from Shirish.
Yes, yes,
Can you see
yes,
that?
yeah. Yeah, Archana, go ahead.
Okay. Ma'am, there is a question from one of our students, and he's thanking you for the lecture, and post that he's asking that women have certain discrimination in some places, but it is true for men as well under different circumstances or situations. So while women discrimination is discussed in workplace, a house husband concept is laughed upon. So similarly, transgenders face the highest discrimination in terms of social inclusion all over the world, with pseudo movements like super straight movement coming out. So why is that? We talk purely in terms of women rights, which definitely need attention, instead of gender rights or rights for existence. Also, what is your opinion on the statement that a job is assigned to a person who is most qualified, regardless of their gender, social status, sexuality, or personal beliefs?
Could you please repeat the last sentence about the question? Yeah.
Okay, so he is asking about your opinion on the statement that a job is assigned to a person who is most qualified, regardless of their gender, social status, sexuality, or personal belief. And in the former part of it, he's actually talking about discrimination with men that might also take place.
So if I may briefly, I agree with what students said. And if I may just, they are talking about qualification and high qualification. You know that the IAEA, the International Atomic Energy Agency, the recruitment is open for everybody, but to have a high standard of expertise and expert at the IAEA, we should have high qualification and expertise among the staff members. So independently, if we cannot give advantage to women because they are women, we don't have gender, and if women are not qualified for this job, so this is the IAEA policy, and you know that is an international organization, and that seeks high standards. So please let me just to mention that I am speaking on behalf of the IAEA and the view of the IAEA. Thank you.
Thank you, ma'am. Any other questions, student? You may please use the chat box to write your questions, or you can use the Q&A box.
I think let me just expand that question, Miss Om. See what that student is asking. There is a job, there is a work. When the work is seen, irrespective of your gender, whether it is a female or male or transgender, who can do that job better? A decision has to be made with regard to that job requirement and the person who will do, irrespective of the gender. So do you agree with that statement? That was the question. So job is important. If anybody can do the best, that responsibility should be given to that individual, irrespective of gender. That is the question. So he's seeking a comment.
I completely agree with you. That is, if we need to have the good person in the right place, in the right job, independent if it is man or woman.
Correct. Absolutely, we agree with you because you are doing your job so well. That is why International Atomic Energy Agency selected you, irrespective of selecting somebody like me. that it is you who is doing this job well. That was given not because you are a woman or somebody else's man, because you can do that job the best. So that is why, that is the question the student is asking. Thank you so much.
Thank you
Thank
for
you,
the
sir. Thank you so
clarification,
much.
sir.
Thank you.
Yes. IT person, please promote Dr. Sunita Ratan.
Ma'am, done, already done.
Okay. Welcome, ma'am.
Thank you, ma'am. Thank you so much.
You can have your question if you.
Yeah, I just want to say that it was a very informative talk, not for the students, but also for the faculty members. And one more thing I would like to say here, that the presence of women in IAEA is there, because when you visit IAEA and you can see more women than men. So this is a very apt, because women are entering in every sphere of life. And not only that, nuclear energy or nuclear thing was actually thought of that it is a men's world. But now I can see that more and more women, and with all sincerity and devotion, they are entering into it. So it was a very informative talk. And I think we will
So
make...
Sunita ji, Madam Marie Curie is a woman who found
Yes.
out radiation.
Yes,
who
the
found
one.
out radiation.
Very rightly said. Yes, very rightly said. That's true. That's true.
Right.
Thank you, Sunita, ma'am. Thank you,
ma'am.
Dr. Sunita. Now, there is another question from the Shabnam. Job requirement and who fill it is better is a discussion which sometimes misses the very viable of inequality of access to the education and training opportunity by women.
Good afternoon, sir.
This is a comment, Shabnam. Hello.
If we can request the IT help to please unmute Professor Shabnam.
Shabnam, yeah.
And also Biswas can be included in the panel. We like to ask some discussion. He is the radiation safety officer. Biswas,
Okay.
he is with our Amity University as the IEA and also Atomic Energy, Department of Atomic Energy recognized radiation safety officer. So we like to listen to him also. IT can
Yes.
promote Biswas also into the panel.
Yes. Yeah. IT, please do
I would
it.
like to tell Ms. Om,
Yes.
as per the guidelines of International Atomic Energy Agency, our Department of Atomic Energy in Government of India has been propagating this radiation safety as well. Besides the security, nuclear security, which you mentioned, we are also talking about the safety. So we have, as per the norms, since we are handling radiation isotopes, so we have a few of the radiation safety officers, including Dr. Sunita Ratan's group also has got a radiation safety officer. So now over to you, Alpana, you continue,
Yes,
and
yes.
then we will bring
Shabnam.
also.
Thank you, sir. Thank you,
Ma'am,
sir.
I would like to ask one more thing, if you
Yes,
permit.
yes, Sunita, ma'am.
Yeah,
Yes.
I would like
Just
to
call you.
ask, ma'am, that because we are
Maybe
running
I'll
MSc
call you
Medical Physics program, so you have any facilities or any openings or any internship programs for medical physics students? That will be very good if we can talk on that.
Thank you, ma'am, for this question. I know I am not from the Department of Nuclear Science and Applications, but I know that the IAEA is very involved in some international programs on medical physics.
Okay, that's great. That's great.
Yes, yes. There are networks, there are programs and trainings in medical physics. So.
Right.
I am not aware, exactly about the program, but I know that there are.
So we can explore that also. Yeah, we can explore
exactly.
that.
Yes,
Exactly.
yes, ma'am.
Yes, thank you so much. Thank you, Alpana, ma'am. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Sunita, ma'am. Yes, Shabnam, you want to ask something? Yes.
Yes. First of all, thank you very much, dear Alpana and it's so great to see you again. And hello, dear professors and dear students. Good to see you again in 2 days. In fact, I wanted to make a comment on this employment opportunities and the discussion of employment of more women. In fact, we are looking at the issue from two distinct philosophical perspectives. The first one is mainly from the mainstream liberal thinking about the competition for a job and who qualifies better. That's a very legitimate discussion in terms of this philosophy. The second one that we are talking about today is mostly about the critical philosophy of the mainstream, which is the gender roles and how can we look at this critically and increase the role of the other gender and have its contribution to the existing framework. So, for instance, regarding personally, I know her very well as a colleague and as a friend, and she has been a very successful in a leadership position woman, who we are very happy and proud to have her at the Iaea as our education secretary. The main problem boils down to the lack or the insufficiency of the education and training of women, because they have usually less access to these opportunities because of so many reasons. It may be because of the environment in their culture, in the in general the work culture of their own country. It may be seen as a very liberal country when you look at it first, but still there may be other cultural norms that may preclude them to go further. So this is a broader sense of looking at things. And I usually hear this argument as well when it comes to our own discussions. So we need to keep in mind that these are two different philosophical viewpoints. So one is apple, the other is orange. Let me put it this way. But I'm also very proud at being and serving at INSEN, which gives so much importance to this gender balance mathematically. That is very important. And hopefully I'm not taking up so much time and giving a pirate presentation today, but thank you for the opportunity. Good to see you again.
Thank you, Dr. Shabnam. Thank you so much for joining also. It's great to have you again.
Likewise.
Yes. So any other question?
Alpana?
Yes.
Yeah, just to say thank you so much, Shabnam. Great to have you at this event and to see you again, and for your comments as well. So you mentioned a very important point. You raised a very important point regarding education of women, because if there are some opportunities, they are open to men and women, and there are like some competitions, and like also when the Iaea is sending notes to member states to nominate candidates for conferences, for workshops, and there are nomination, and the Iaea in the letter of invitation, the Iaea mentioned that member states are encouraged to nominate women among staff, but this is not always the case, and we are all aware that most of the nomination are men. And you mentioned also education and some training for women. This is why I mentioned at the end of my presentation about this program that the Iaea established in just last December. It is a program to educate women on nuclear and communicate this knowledge and disseminate this knowledge to others in their societies. So this is very important to have like these training programs that are focused on women, because there is a lack of women in the field, and we need to raise these issues, and of course to increase the representation of women, and to increase the knowledge, not only the representation, but also the knowledge of women in the field. So thank you for raising this one.
Thank you, Dr. Harkam. I also want to ask you, is gender equality is a concern for men too? How they are looking this?
Maybe we can ask men.
No, let me as a man, let me respond.
Yes, please.
We are so delighted. You know, in India, we respect women, we adore women. We actually hold them as goddess. Many of the goddesses, goddess of education, goddess of wealth, goddess of courage, bravery, everything is women. So India has a tradition of respecting women thousands of years ago, because women can do many things better than even men sometimes. And today, women are in space, and women are in military, in combat. Women are in education, which have been there for generations, thousands of years. And so they are able to do everything what a man can do. Only socially, culturally, and they have not been empowered. Once they are empowered, they will do wonders. So that is why this International Women's Day, which we celebrate, we celebrate just to empower them and remind every one of us. So there should be no discrimination at all, gender discrimination. You give them equal opportunity for women and empower them. They will do things extremely well, because they have certain advantage also in terms of protection from diseases, and their corpus callosum between the left and right hemisphere being short, and their decision making, intuitively also they take the right decisions. They can do multitasking, which men are not able to do. So there are several things which women can do sometimes better than men. So there should be no discrimination. So I must compliment Ms. Om for this wonderful webinar. I would like to also request Dr. Alpana Goyal, one of our brilliant head of the institution. She is heading Amity Institute of Nuclear Security. In Amity, we have empowered women. The Vice Chancellor of Amity University, Uttar Pradesh, is a woman. She is Dr. Balvinder Shukla, and she is controlling almost 50,000 students across the globe in Tashkent, in the Russian Federation. Then we have in Dubai, Lucknow. So we have 5 campuses, and she is looking after all these women. And she is a woman vice chancellor. So like this, Dr. Alpana Goyal, Dr. Sunita Ratan, they are all heads of the institution. Amity, Dr. Ashok Chauhan, the founder president, who is also seeing this program. I want to tell you that he is adoring all this. That is why he is empowering each and every woman, deserving woman, and gives equal opportunity for men and women in Amity University. So Dr. Alpana, I would like to also request you to briefly tell about the very important international project you have brought in the field of nuclear security. And this main aim is to cause education, which you are doing, Ms. Om. She is going to do it, taking your guidance in a big way. Why don't you talk about this, Dr. Alpana, about this in a little slow, so that she understands, and also Dr. Sebanam also, and Ms. Om and others can understand. Speak a little slowly and go ahead.
Thank you, sir. Thank you, sir. Thank you for giving me this opportunity to tell about the project, what we are going to establish at Amity campus. So we are going to establish a nuclear security lab we already have nuclear laboratory at our nuclear science department. We have all type of the detector. We have GM detector, then we have sodium iodide detector, and other facilities already established in our lab, in our department. But we are going to enhance this facility, and we are going to establish one of the lab will be remote lab, which all the Indian universities where it is not possible to have a lab, they can use, they can take the advantage of this lab, and they can do the experiment from their place without actual coming to the institution, to the Amity campus. So it is a main feature and important feature of this laboratory. And this laboratory is going to establish in collaboration with Texas A&M University, where Dr. Sunil Cheriat and Dr. Mariano is helping us to establish here. And I am very happy that our founder president, our chancellor sir, our vice chancellor madam, and our Dr. Silva Murthy sir, they all are supporting me, and they are giving me a good space and all support to establish this lab. And I request Om, if she can give me a chance during our annual meeting, where I can also like to present this facility which we are going to establish at Amity University. I will be giving you the all details, and I will be presenting there. It will be a pleasure for me if I will get the opportunity. So it will be a very great, good project which we are going to have at our campus, and we are very excited, and we need your support also as a nuclear security person, you and Shabnam. It will be very helpful for us if you also support in the sense of the project, or in some support from the Iaea. If we will get some support in we will do the project here, and we will give you the outcome of that from our facility. So this is basically we are going to collaborate with not only for the our university, but with the other university where we have a nuclear science and technology institution, and even the physics department.
Let me, Miss Om and Miss Sabnam, let me supplement what this brilliant scientist and HOI, head of the institution.
Sure,
I have your permission? Yes. So this Amity Institute of Nuclear Science and Technology, Amity Institute of Nuclear Science and Technology. We have an institute that Ashok Chauhan established 15 years ago. When the university started, he knows the importance of nuclear science and technology. So we established way ahead in 2005. And now that is bringing out a large number of undergraduate, postgraduate, doctoral students who are passing out. So this is one service Amity is giving to increase the human resource at the global level. Many of our students are employed in industries related to nuclear science, research laboratories, and so they are all spreading out across the globe in the area of nuclear science and technology. And she also has brought a large number of projects in Amity in this field of nuclear science and technology. Now, this important project which she mentioned, it is from the US Department of Defense. There is a Defense Threat Reduction Agency, DETRA. You may be aware, both of you may be aware, DETRA. DETRA is creating across the globe to reduce the nuclear threat by securing the nuclear asset. It could be any asset in the hospitals or in the radiation which is there for the food irradiation. Number of applications are there for peaceful applications. So these assets have to be secure. So nuclear security becomes important. So they have funded a major program to A&M University in Texas. That in turn selected across the globe, they looked for partners, and they selected Dr. Alpana Goyal. They selected Amity University. As that place in India, this is the place. Amity University is the place where we will establish this big program in building capacity building in nuclear security across horizontally in our country, because our country is huge, 1.37 billion people. So this lot of nuclear assets have been created. So it is necessary to have the capacity building. So they have sanctioned a major program, research program to Amity University with Alpana Goyal as the chief principal investigator. And this is aiming at two parts. One is research, the other one is capacity building. So there will be two labs will be created. One lab will connect with universities, institutions, colleges, because today we have 1,000 universities in India. We have 45,000 colleges, but there may not be awareness about the nuclear security. So this program is aiming at creating, building that capacity in nuclear security in our country. And that is why this project is very, very important. Then there will be a research component. One lab will be capacity building training lab, which can be accessed online as well. So physically people need not come to the lab. That will also happen, but in a hybrid mode. You can do a part of it in the online, part of it physically, to see some, how do we measure, make measurements and so on. And they can also have online access to the assets which we create in this project. So this is a very important project which Dr. Alpana Goyal has brought from the A&M University, from the DETRA. So this is one, and we need you because you are expert in the nuclear security education. You are the secretary, educational secretary in IEA, and Ms. Sebnam is very important for us. So take them as our advisors, Alpana. So please take them, both of them, very brilliant
Right,
people,
sir.
advisor to this program, international advisor, one from Atomic Energy, IEA, International Atomic Energy Agency,
Okay, sir.
and Ms. Sabnam Odom. So both of them, you take them as international advisors for this project.
Right, sir.
So,
Right, sir.
thank you so
Thank
much,
you.
sir. Thank you so much, sir. Thank you for highlighting the achievement of Dr. Alpana. And this is very important in relation with our topic, the support of the leadership and the management. Because without the support of our organization management and the leadership, we cannot achieve anything. And thank you so much for highlighting the achievement and accomplishment of Dr. Alpana. Also, this shows us the important role of a role model, as Dr. Alpana is playing a role model in India and for other people as well. And also the role of mentorship. And Alpana is mentoring students. And I know that she also founded the INMM student chapter. And we did have cooperation between Amity University and the University of Bint Tufail in Morocco. So yes, these are aspects of support of leadership, of role model, of mentorship. These are very important if we need to achieve also gender equality. And thank you so much, sir.
Thank you, Ms. Om. And also our founder president, Dr. Ashok Chauhan, he is giving full support for research and innovation. That is his life. That is his breath. That is his life itself is research innovation. That is why all of us are getting full support. And Dr. Atul Chauhan, who is a product of London School of Economics, and she is driving this kind of research and innovation in a big way. And like, I'll give an example. During this COVID-19, immediately Dr. Atul Chauhan said, we should establish a Amity global research network on novel viruses. Novel viruses. Today it is COVID. Tomorrow it could be Ebola, or it could be some other virus. So how do we immediately respond? Build a global network. So if you build you are there as a global network for nuclear security education. So like this, we should connect with each other. So Dr. Chauhan, founder president, has said mission connect. We have to link with each other. We are all linked as one family. So then we can achieve much better consortium approach and sharing each other's knowledge, expertise, experience, helping each other. Then we can do things much better. So mission connect and mission synergy is actually Dr. Chauhan has established only with this purpose. And Chancellor Dr. Atul Chauhan has also made a slogan, together we will change the world. Together with you all, we will change the world. We will create a happy world, peaceful world, safe world for nuclear security, safe world. Now I would request Biswas. Biswas, he has just joined us. Ms. Om, I wanted to introduce Subhajit Biswas. He is here.
He's with us.
So
Yes, sir. I'm here. Yes,
he is
yes.
another brilliant scientist in the molecular medicine and stem cell research.
Yes, sir.
And he is also our radiation safety officer. He is certified. He is certified by the Department of Atomic Energy as a radiation safety officer. And he also works on cancer biology, one of the outstanding cancer biologists of our country. Biswas, can you just mention first about the radiation safety officer and a little bit about your liver cancer research which you are doing?
Yeah, sure. Thank you for inviting me in the panel.
Speak a little
conversation today.
Little slow. Speed little slowly. You speak so that they will be able to catch every word.
Okay. Thank you, Dr. Shilvamurthy sir, for introducing me. And maybe I'm audible, right?
Yes.
Yes. So I'm a radio safety officer in Amity University in Uttar Pradesh campus in the nuclear science department. And actually, when I came back from USA, because I was doing postdoc and after that principal investigator, then I joined in India. Because from my PhD, I was working on a different unsealed molecule like P53 and hardcode molecular biology. So I am involved myself.
Thoda dheere boliyega.
So I was involved myself in the radio safety or radioisotope work for a long time. Anyway, fortunately, I become the radio safety officer in India because I qualify from the Bhabha Atomic Center, that certificate I have. But honestly, in the term of career, I'm a cancer biologist as well as molecular biologist. And my major area of the research in the liver cancer, because before joining in Amity University, I was in one super specialty institute. It is called Amity Institute of, Institute of Liver and Biliary Sciences. So my faculty position and my research started with the liver cancer, that is a hepatocellular carcinoma. So mainly we work on the cancer microenvironment. In the liver, there is a different kind of the cells apart from the hepatocyte. There is the immune cells. There is some fibroblast cells. So I work on the interaction between different cells, how they interact each other. And I also did the therapeutic strategy, the translational level, like how nanoparticle can be one of the delivery system of some microRNA. So we are doing excellent work, and we have a animal facility. So we are making carcinogen induced animal model. So even when I was in the United States, I was working in the radioisotope along, because major work with the DNA damage as well as checkpoint biology in the cancer biology. So we work on the not only sequence, like how the protein DNA interaction, like GL shift assay and the DNA footprinting. Then all I was involved in the using the P53, the cell, the radioisotope. So this is my exposure. So even I'll not take too much of in the other area, but thank you for bringing me in this consortium. And thank you, Mr. Harkam. And I was just joined a little late, but I was listening, and it's a big opportunity. And of course, the radioisotope in India, a lot of women are involved in the research. And as Shivamurthy sir is mentioned, in our university is the Research and Innovation University. And in our HOD also, Dr. B.C. Das sir, he is always behind us to publish the good impact journals. And we are doing excellent research in cancer biology, and we have a stem cell research, and we have a stem cell shorting facility that is the Department of Science Technology are sponsored, and I'm also the principal coordinator of that. So, and a lot of things is going on, and whenever you visit in India, please come in our universe. So it's an excellent campus. And of course, Alpana ma'am is doing excellent. And I heard this good news a month back that it is the Delta is given the facility. I know about the Delta, not only the nuclear weapon, and Delta is taking care a lot of other activities of the environmental and food security, and that is the important parameter in the world. And thank you with us.
Thank you, Biswas. Thank you.
Thank you, sir.
You are doing a
sir.
great job, both as a scientist as well as radiation safety officer, taking care of the safety. We also have one or two more radiation safety officers, Ms. Om, and one is with Dr. Sunita Ratan. She specialized mainly when you are exposing X-rays or MRI, CT. So you are exposing a lot of medical radiation to the patients. So how will it, so the safety part, the duration, intensity. So we have Dr. Sunita Ratan, nuclear physics. She is actually having a big group there, and she also has a radiation safety officer there.
Yes,
and
so
now
I'm sending her the link. She may be joining.
Right, right. Very good, very good. Alpana, can you explain that what are all the courses? Did you explain the courses which you are? Yeah, please, Om, please. I'm sorry.
Yes, just to thank the speaker for sharing his experience with us, and also to congratulate you all at Amity University for this teamwork. Right. Because we are hearing from you, like you are coordinating among different experts, and this is it gives me very inspiration about this teamwork at Amity University. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Ms. Om. But we want to hear from you how we can contribute as Amity University. We have 11 universities in India. We have 17 campuses abroad, 28 schools we have, and the schools are looked after by, managed, governed by Dr. Mrs. Amita Chauhan, who is the Madam Chairperson who looks after the international schools. So we also have schools. So how can we as Amity Group can contribute to your mission in IEA? Since you are the Education Secretary in IEA, can you just tell us what as an Amity Group how we can contribute and we can participate in your initiatives as well as in your organizational initiatives?
So thank you so much, sir, for this question. You know that I am education officer at the Division of Nuclear Security. I am in charge of nuclear security education program and activities. I am leading this. And regarding the Amity University is already a member of our network in SAN. Dr. Alpana as focal point, she is very involved, and she is chair of working group 2 regarding the professional development and international cooperation. So we had just last week a meeting all together with Shabnam also and other colleagues from around the world, working to on our action plan. So Amity University regarding nuclear security education is already involved in the network and already contributed to the activities of the network. Regarding other aspects, nuclear aspects, there are other departments and divisions and offices that you can reach out. And our colleagues, all of them, they are very open. And if you need like I can facilitate the contact with them. If you need something, you have my email address, and I can contact the office responsible and in charge of this program. So I cannot speak on behalf of other programs, but regarding nuclear security education, I think that we have more than 8 institutions member of the network. They are always very active. They give presentations at the annual meeting, and we do have Dr. Alpana and Dr. Nitin that were involved in the INSAN leadership. So you are welcome. If you have any question regarding nuclear security education, I am in charge. If you have other colleagues, I can facilitate the contact with them.
So grateful to you, Ms. Om Harkam, and for this, and you are already helping us, and we are extremely grateful to you. On behalf of Amity Group, we want to place on record our deep gratitudes to you for the support. We will look forward to their support. Ms. Sabnam, can you just also tell us how we can expand our cooperation with you? And Alpana, we should look at how do we connect with Sabnam as well. Can I hear from Sabnam how you feel that now, having seen Amity, having interacted with Alpana, is there anything more we can do?
Thank you so much, sir. In fact, I'm affiliated with the Hacettepe University's International Relations Department.
Right.
And I have been involved through our institution for INSAN since 2013. And afterwards, in 2015, I became part of the leadership of INSAN. And I was the chair of the network between 2018 and 2019. And because of the pandemic, I'm still the immediate former chair of the network. And in our both formal and informal conversations with the members of INSAN, I have always tried to put a social science perspective, especially for the threat assessment for nuclear security threats and scenarios. Usually, we tend to look at it from the capabilities perspective and try to guard these materials with various instruments and methods. However, the world is changing, time is changing, and we need to cover up for our vulnerabilities, which may qualify to be weaknesses that can be exploited by the actors with malicious intent, as the Iaea definition goes. So my humble contribution, particularly in this field, first of all, would be from the perspective of threat assessment and prevention, and detection and response, but usually the prevention in terms of detecting those intentions for which types of materials that would be of concern for those actors with malicious intent. And that is why my activities have been geared mostly towards the education, and I would be more than happy to contribute to the educational programs in your institute with filling in the gap of this perspective.
Very good. Thank you so much. It's a very important role INSAN is playing,
Yes,
and you as the president, you are contributing immensely to this activity of creating awareness, education across, horizontally spreading the message of nuclear security and safety. Very, very important. And Alpana ji, anything else? Would you like?
Thank you, sir. Sir, Dr. Om is having another meeting, and she has to go.
Then
let us thank the speaker and all the guests.
Alpana,
yes,
let
sir.
me just only
yes, sir.
Two more sentences.
Yes, sir.
And let me, on behalf of Founder President, Dr. Ashok Chauhan, the Chancellors, Dr. Atul Chauhan, Dr. Sim Chauhan, and also Chairperson, whom I mentioned, Mrs. Amita Chauhan, I place on record our deep sense of gratitude to both Ms. Om particularly and also Ms. Sebanam for this wonderful deliberations you people have brought in this particular webinar. And also I want to place on record our gratitude to you for the support you are giving to Amity. Because whatever is Amity today is because of support we have received from eminent, distinguished people like you. So I want to thank you on Amity's behalf and on my own behalf. And the topic, women empowerment, is very important. And in fact, just a couple of days ago, 8th was the International Day of Women, which we celebrated at the national level as well. And then in Amity, we had many programs just to reinforce, reiterate the importance of women empowerment. And this particular webinar is also part of that women empowerment. Dr. Alpana, thank you for bringing such brilliant women who are doing a great job. And both Ms. Om as well as Ms. Sebanam on this. And then now you should expand the internship. She has shown many opportunities
Yes,
available with the IEA. Now we should also look at what more we can do. So keep on expanding the relationship with the IEA through her and also through Sebanam, and also the organization with Ms. Sebanam is heading. That is also very important for us. And you are our ambassador. You are our nuclear safety ambassador to IEA. So you have a big role, responsibilities. So I'm sure you are contributing so much, and compliments to you. And also I would like to appreciate my faculties here. Like,
yes, sir. Thank you.
This
Thank
was
you.
at Sunita Ratan has joined, which she is doing. She is having a big group. The physics, chemistry, mathematics, applied science, all that he is looking after. This was, thank you for joining on
Thank you,
short
sir.
notice.
Thank you.
And so now all of us, we will connect with them. And
Yes,
also we will further reinforce women in science, women in education, women in every sphere of life. So with that positive note, Alpana, congratulations to you. You are doing a great job in
Thank you so much,
Amity.
sir, for joining and making this event such a wonderful because of you. Thank you, sir. Thank you,
In
Dr.
fact, founder
Dr.
president said you must go. Alpana is arranging a very important
Thank you so
webinar.
much, sir.
Rush immediately. So I just joined you. Thank you so much.
Thank you so much, sir. Thank you all. Thank you, Om and Shabnam, for a wonderful talk.